As I live and breathe, welcome to the ChimiComicsCast. I'm your host, Tanner Kirby, alongside Mr. ChimiComics himself, Riley Davis. Not gonna say anything? Audio viewers don't know who you are. Okay. And to my left, the man who's never wrong, Wyatt Smith.
Happy to be here. Happy to tell you audio listeners who I am at the start, unlike Mr. ChimiComics.
And that's why he's right, Riley. That's why he's right. Now, as most of you know, we are huge comic book nerds, so each and every month we come together to bring you the nerdy news that you care about, and also talk about what we've been reading this month, talk about comic books, graphic novels, TV, pop culture, everything under the sun. So let's start out the show the way we start out every time with, what have you guys been reading this month?
Alright.
I'm just gonna kick it off.
Well, first of all, I finished out the JMS Spider-Man run. So
Did we learn more about these totem poles?
Yeah, he went into the totems a little bit. Yeah, I talked about volume 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
This one does some more totem stuff. He faces off with Ezekiel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so Ezekiel, you know how he's been helping him the whole time and stuff, helping him survive. Well, he turns on him, and
Naturally.
he feeds Spider-Man to this giant spider, right?
Okay.
Fitting.
And he would have died, but Ezekiel's like, oh no. Realizes what he's done, and he's like, he changes his mind about it, and he saves him.
Mm.
But then he gets eaten.
Not gonna lie, this doesn't sound too good, Ralph.
The way it happened was cool, but the last arc of this book, the last arc of this book is the worst Spider-Man story ever.
I take it you don't like it.
That's coming from Riley Davis, the man who loves everything.
I want to say it's worse than Spider-Man Reign, just because Reign doesn't really mess with continuity. This does.
Ooh.
And how does it mess with continuity?
Oh, we're talking about One More Day? Is that what that
No,
is?
we're not. We're not
We're not even
even
there
talking about
yet.
One Day.
Not even there yet.
This
eh?
is worse.
Oh, great.
This is worse.
Great.
I don't
Tell us
know-
how worse it is.
I don't know
Riley.
why nobody talks about this. It's called Sins Past. And
Oh, I know about this.
I don't.
Yeah.
I know about this.
It's about Gwen Stacy, and they're saying that she had twins
Yes.
with Norman Osborn
What?
while she was dating Peter.
What?
That's true.
Yeah.
And these twins want to kill Peter.
So, according to JMS, Gwen cheated on Peter with Norman, a freaking sicko.
Who was way older
Who's
than her.
who's old enough to be her dad, and she ended up getting pregnant with twins. Yeah, so she has the twins, and then when
Does
they're
Peter
born,
think they're his? Like,
no, he doesn't know about it. He doesn't know about it at all because she went on a school trip in Europe and didn't come back for several months.
So when she started showing and all. So.
Yeah, so she only carried them for 7 months, but when they came out, they were fully grown, like 9 months. And that's because they got the goblin genes from Norman, so they age super quick. And like, when you look at these books, continuity is like moving super slow, right? So in this book, which was published in the early 2000s, Gwen's only been dead a couple years, right?
So you just come up and spit on her memory by saying she cheated on Peter with Norman Osborn.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see why this is hated.
Supposedly a fan came up with that. And
Well,
they
that
were
fan knows nothing.
like, yeah. Supposedly a fan came up with it, and it was like like some type of theory, like a fan theory, and they actually used it.
Because,
I haven't heard that, but
Guys, what if Gwen Stacy got with Norman Osborn?
anyway, it's the worst idea. It's not told very well either, and yeah, like you said, it spits all over her memory. Like, she's one of the most beloved characters in comics, and you're just gonna say that she cheated on Peter?
Norman Osborn. What was she, gold digging?
Yeah, it was gross. It wasn't even like that. She just felt sorry for him. Yeah.
They seriously dropped the ball with this one.
And supposedly
Norman Osborn got pity fucked.
And the way it's written, she was a virgin when that happened.
Nah.
So like her first time was with Norman Osborn.
Once you go goblin, you never go
Shut
back.
up, Tanner.
This is terrible.
Apparently it is easy being greedy.
And you guys know there's not much that I don't like out there.
Oh, yeah,
when it
this
comes
is
to
true.
comics.
Tanner
But I
calls you
hate
Riley
this.
loves everything.
I hate this. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. And he hasn't even got to the one more day.
That pales in comparison compared to this. Seriously.
You haven't read it yet, have you?
Yeah, I've read it. I'm about to
Okay.
talk about it. So, volume 4, I think this was all pretty much good stuff. There's a Hydra story, and let me see. Yeah, so at the very end of this book, May's house got burned down.
Okay.
So after that, they go to Avengers Tower and stay there with Tony and Cap and all them, Wolverine. So Aunt May, Mary Jane, and Peter are all staying there. And oh yeah, so we get the other storyline. So this is like the end of the totem stuff. Peter gets the crap beat out of him by, I thought it was Moreland. Yeah, it was Moreland. The vampire dude I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets beat by him, and he's like about to die, and then he like turns into a spider creature and kills Moreland
Sounds about right.
savagely, like to save his own life. So then he like just kills over dead, I think. That's how that happened. Yeah. So he just falls over dead, and then he's like, his body's laying there in the tower, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they come back like a day later or something, and the body is split open like a cocoon, and he crawled out of it. It's like he was shedding his skin, kind of, like a spider does.
Right.
So now he's like physically brand new, like he doesn't have any scars or damage at all to him. He's like a brand new person.
Yeah.
And so he goes through all that. Yeah, there's not really much to say about that. It was okay. I've read it before, but I forgot a lot about it. And then it ends on Iron Man building him the Iron Spider suit for Civil War. Yeah. It was okay. It wasn't bad. A lot of people really like this run. Like they say it's one of the best Spider-Man runs ever. I don't get it.
I was about to
Yeah,
say,
after
none
that
of
first thing you
none
said,
of what you have told me through this whole series has intrigued me enough to be
Yeah,
like, I want to
don't
read
get it.
this.
Like the first 2 books, like you get the 9/11 issue, which was cool, but it's not like he was planning that.
Right.
You know? You get, I like the totem stuff, like with him and Ezekiel and him fighting Moreland and all that stuff. Like that's cool stuff. But the other is kind of out there.
Yep.
Like turns into a spider. Sin's Pass is terrible, and One More Day was not good either. And then you've got like the Civil War stuff, which, I mean, you know, that was Mark Millar's event, so, you know, he just kind of had to go along with that.
yeah, can't really give him any credit for that.
Is there anything else in here? Nope, just goes into One More Day. So, yeah, Kingpin put a hit out on Peter, but the sniper hit May instead, and she's dying.
Wow.
So Peter tries all these things to get her back, and none of them work.
Sounds like
And
Spider-Verse.
Then Mephisto, the devil, comes and makes a deal with him and Mary Jane. And he says, if you will give me your two's love for each other, give it up, then I will save your aunt. So they,
Yes, that 90-year-old decrepit woman.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
save her.
she's not 90, but
She looks 90.
so yeah, they will have no memory of it ever happening.
They'll just not like each other anymore.
Yeah. It's like it never happened. But he said like there would be this itch in the back of their mind that like, you know, there's something supposed to be there. But they won't like actually know what it is. So that's what happened.
I can see why people don't like
It
this
was
one
just
either.
a hard reset for Spider-Man.
Because they thought that people liked him more when he wasn't married Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Is that true?
because it makes him old. And they didn't want to divorce them because that makes him even older.
Yeah.
So that's
Click.
why.
Reset button.
Have you ever heard that JMS wanted his name off the book because he didn't like how the story was going because of editorial and stuff?
Mm-mm.
So that's what everybody says. But the truth is, he didn't want his name on the book because they changed stuff, right?
Mm.
He still wanted to reset Peter.
Right.
But they were like, all right, you need to tone it down a bit because, like, we can get rid of the marriage, but we can't reset everything because that'll make it like
Civil War and all
20
the
plus
events,
years
yeah.
of comics never even happened.
Right.
So that's what JMS wanted to do. But instead, they just got rid of the marriage,
Mm.
which is only, what did it happen, like 90 something? 92 maybe?
No, weren't they married in the Venom storyline?
I guess it was late 80s.
Yeah.
85.
Yeah. It was
Something
in the
like
80s.
that. Anyway, so that's their reset. Instead of resetting it back to like 60 something, 70 something. So JMS wanted his name off the book, not because One More Day was bad, because it wasn't bad enough. Pretty much. It's the way I look at it. So
Sounds about right.
JMS, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Mm.
I guess you've got two more things.
I'm sorry, but I have way more good things to say about the Clone Saga than I do that stuff.
Wow.
No, for real. Like they both
Hot take from Riley Davis.
they both create new characters, which was cool.
Yeah.
They both have good elements, but Clone Saga ultimately didn't change that much in continuity.
Correct.
Yeah. So it didn't like ruin things. Even though
They pretty much wrote all this back into canon, right? Because he's married to
What?
Mary Jane and stuff again, right?
no, he's not married.
Oh,
He's with her.
Yeah.
I thought they had a kid.
No. That's called Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows,
Yeah.
and that is in an alternate universe.
That's very stupid.
Yep. So they'll give you your cake and eat it too. You get to eat it too. So
Great.
we have single Peter and married Peter.
Yay.
Sounds
Soon
I
about
we'll-
haven't read
Soon
it,
we'll also
so-
have divorced Peter.
No.
It's a possibility.
Yeah. So not a fan. Then I read Checkmate by Greg Rucka. This is a DC book. It takes place immediately after Infinite Crisis. You know how Maxwell Lord
Yeah, and
took over Checkmate
yeah.
single-handedly, and so now in that Fallout, they're introducing this rule of two, which means that for every metahuman,
Yeah.
for every metahuman in Checkmate, there has to be a
to
normal person to be its counterpart. So the hierarchy is set up to where there's a black king, a black queen,
Yeah.
a white king, and a white queen, and so
our black pieces meta-human and white
No.
piece? No.
The two kings, one is meta, one's not.
Yeah.
The two queens are like that too.
Okay.
So you've got Sasha Bordeaux is the black queen. I should say black is operative and white is non-operative.
Okay.
So the black
pieces are like in the field and
go
the
in the
fighters.
field. Yes.
Yeah.
So Sasha Bordeaux, who's the one that got infected by the OMAC gene during Infinite Crisis, she's the Black Queen, and the Black King is like this. I think he was a general from Tel Aviv or something. I don't remember. He's not that important,
Okay.
but the White King is Alan Scott Green Lantern, the old school.
Yeah.
And then the White Queen is Amanda Waller.
The wall.
The Wall.
Because she's built like a wall.
Yeah. Each royal has a bishop and a knight. So there's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah.
There's like 12 pieces. But overall, it's a fun story. If you like espionage, this is a really good one.
I might have to read this because I do like espionage.
I think you would like it.
Just notice Superman's symbol on the cover of that is a chess piece.
Yeah. He doesn't actually do that. It's just a cover.
I know, but still.
I don't know why they do stuff like that. But yeah, I'll show you volume 2. It was a short, I think it's like 25 issue run for the series. So
Oh, this is the whole series?
yeah, this is the whole series, these 2 books. So it's not terribly long, but it's decent length. There's an overarching storyline, but there's a lot of little stories in there too. So I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
Alright, so is that all for you?
That's it.
Alright, I'll go ahead and take over. So in the 2 months I've been gone, I decided to read, because I wasn't in the last issue, I hadn't seen Endgame yet. I've seen it. Good. But anyway. Anyway, I decided to read my Warhammer 40,000 omnibus from the Gaunt's Ghost series. This is the 3rd omnibus. It's called The Lost, and it includes the novels Traitor General, His Last Command, The Armor of Contempt, and... Hold on a minute. I forget the last one's title, but I know what happens in it.
I know nothing about Warhammer.
Me neither.
I thought it was a video game.
It was.
There is, yeah, there's video games in the series. It's a tabletop
Which one's
game.
first?
First was
Not the
tabletop.
game.
Okay.
Yeah. And it had things with that. Only in Death was the last novel. And this is the 3rd omnibus. The first book, Traitor General, it's very small scale, and it was actually one of the first like small scale commando style books in Warhammer 40k. Dan Abnett, who is a comic writer, probably knows. He wrote Teen Titans, I believe.
He wrote Aquaman recently. He's not on anymore though. I don't know what he's doing.
Maybe he's finally starting up with the Gaunt's Ghost series again. But
Maybe.
anyway, so he was trying to create something new in Warhammer, because most Warhammer books are just big military epics, huge battles and whatnot, and he was wanting to say that you don't have to do that in a Warhammer book. So the Ghost Regiment, like 12 of them get picked to go behind enemy lines on a chaos-held planet, and their mission is to assassinate a general that's been captured, because the general will be able to tell the Chaos Forces how to build up their own army, because they really don't have the knowledge and training that the Imperial Guard, which are the Ghosts are a part of, that they use to fight, because mainly Chaos just throws these cultists who are pretty much just mind-raving lunatics who just throw themselves at the enemy. You've got a couple forces like the Blood Pact who are regimented and use tactics, but they're very rare. So this is a strategic importance that they do this. So they like kind of infiltrate, get in touch with resistance, and move around the planet called Geryon, and they're avoiding patrols.
Geryon.
Yeah, Gereon. Geryon. It's an agri world, so a lot of farms and stuff. There's a lot of cool characters. The ones who go are fan favorites. You got Gaunt, of course, Ron.
I'm sorry.
Why are you laughing?
The name Gaunt.
Ibram Gaunt.
Gaunt. I was thinking of gout. He got the gout.
I mean, maybe. This is the grimdark future of the 31st millennium.
Why do they call them an omnibus? Are there like short stories in
no,
there?
this is 4 full books together in one printing. It was like a fully 1,000 pages, but with 4 books all in it. I don't have it with me, sorry. I just pulled up the cover on my phone. So, in the general, they're there to assassinate, actually, I won't tell you his identity, but it goes back to the 3rd book in the series, Necropolis. He's a character from that. So, it's got a lot of callbacks to that. Has some good interaction between Gaunt and facing this, because he feels personally responsible for this man being in the position to get captured. It fleshes out the Chaos side a lot and shows some infighting among the Chaos leadership. And it's just, this is my favorite book in the omnibus, by the way. So, the next one, very close. The rest of the regiment, who they've been separated from, thinks that they're all dead. So this is 3-year time skip after the events of Trader General. And they're still on campaign, and they're on a planet. And there's these fortresses that are the Mons, is what they're called. They're pretty much these mountains that are separated by these huge walls, and they have different like biomes and environments in them, and the Chaos forces are just holding them. And the Imperial intelligence believes that they may be religious, so they don't want to bombard them, because if they do, that'll be heresy, and they'll all be executed. Yeah. Heretics don't live long in 40K. So, the regiment has a new...
Is that the acronym for Warhammer?
Yeah, 40K. So, the regiment has been blended with another regiment, and they're kind of getting along, and they have a new CO. But Gaunt and the Geryon 12, as they're called, return, and after being on a Chaos planet for 3 years, their superiors are worried about them. Maybe they've been tainted by the ruinous powers of Chaos, so they have to prove that they're not crazy.
Professor Chaos.
Letters, Professor Chaos, yeah. So yeah, and it's called His Last Command, because they're like, Gaunt, you can't be the commanding officer of the unit anymore.
So that's how that book ends?
No.
Oh.
That book ends with Gaunt pretty much coming up and saying, hey, you idiots, this isn't a religious place. You can just bombard this. We've lost a whole bunch of men here for nothing. So that's pretty much how that book ends.
Is this anything like... Well, never mind.
No, speak your mind.
Well,
I just kind of think about Gears.
Gears of War?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Gears saga is very bloody and very violent, so you could relate to that, but times it by 10.
Okay.
Yeah, because Warhammer has to one-up everything with its ridiculousness factors. But the action in it, this one, I'll say Trader General's my favorite because of the plot, but as far as action and like military stuff, this one is my favorite. Just the advances and whatnot. Tanith, the regiment, is a scout regiment, and they do some scouting ahead.
Did you say Mutanith or just Tanith?
Just Tanith. The Tanith is the regiment that the book is about.
My regiment.
Yeah, they've been blended together with the Belladin regiment, and they didn't want to call themselves Belladin or Tanith. At least the new CO didn't, because he didn't want to show favoritism to any one person or group. So he renames the place the 81st First, because it came from the Belladin 81st and the Tanith 1st. So just the 81st First Recon.
Man, this is some world building right there.
Yeah, Dan Abnett is great with world building. He actually wrote the first Warhammer 40K book in the Black Riot Library.
I ain't that smart. I couldn't come up with stuff like that.
Yeah, like he coined phrases such as Vox, which is their radio stuff.
I wonder how big his
Prometheum.
storyboards are.
It's gotta be.
It's got to be huge.
It's gotta be massive.
Probably,
Like 3 whiteboards.
yeah.
Yeah, like seriously, it's gotta be huge.
Just coming up with all this stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
And so they add.
But why don't do that in comics?
Probably because the editors and stuff don't like that. They
Too
just like
much.
to keep it simple.
There's only so many panels, right?
I
Yeah,
don't know. I think he's more of a novelist.
he really.
Oh,
I
definitely.
think so.
Definitely.
And this is why I like novels a little bit more than comics, because of the details in the world building. I just love that stuff. So,
I mean, there's stuff like that in the independent stuff.
yeah, and I've read some of those, like Manifest Destiny,
Yeah.
even though
You said
it got crazy there at the end. But Anyway, so that's enough for the second book. The third book, they go back to Geryon because they promised they'd liberate it, and
Makes me think of a bunch of geriatrics.
I was thinking of Jerry from Rick and Morty. It's like, oh, Planet of Jerry's, eh?
Geryon.
that's a possibility.
Jerry, I know.
Yeah. So they go back. They promised they'd liberate it, but the Inquisition and the people who were worried
Of
about
the Spain?
No, this is the Imperial Inquisition,
Oh.
and no one expects them. But they want to know how the Geryon 12 came back untainted by chaos. They think it has to have something to do with this planet, so that's why they pretty much go. The book is shorter than the others, and it's kind of the weakest in my opinion. It pretty much exists to give the
Wrap
fate of a
everything
couple characters and just wrap up the Geryon saga and all. I wish one character had joined the Ghost, but they didn't. It was kind of just
Can't
left
all
at
be
the end.
winners.
It's true.
Yeah, but in this book, I will say one good thing happens. While the ghosts are going around meeting with the Resistance and stuff, a character who's the son of another ghost character, he actually just finished basic training for the Imperial Guard, but he's not allowed to go with the 10th Regiment. They form a new regiment made of penal rejects, newly made guardsmen, basically just so they can get more meat on the line. And they're led by this commissar who has a whip, and he like whips them along like, "Move, you feral dogs! Do not fall back an inch." One guy drops his rifle when he's
Have you
running.
never heard the word penal?
Shut up, you immature. God dang it!
I did lose it. He said the penal regiment, and then he said
Meat on the front line.
Gotta get more meat on the front line.
Yeah.
And they started
that
whipping
part
it.
was funny.
They started whipping it.
Damn it, Tanner. Anyway, so this like evil sadistic commissar, like Gaunt is also a commissar, but he's like not anything like most of them in this universe. Commissars are political officers, and they're maintaining morale and make sure no regiments go AWOL. So a lot of them are like, "Oh, you retreated? Blam!" and just execute anyone who falls back. Like if they're more scared of me, then they won't be afraid of the enemy. It's like Soviet commissars from World War II. It's a lot like that, except more brutal. So this evil sadistic commissar, it has a cool moment. The character Dalen, like their unit gets separated, and he's like trying to find him, and he comes walking back up, and the commissar wants him to hurry, and he raises his whip, but then he sees the look in Dalen's eyes. Dalen's like, "If you whip me, I will shoot you," and he's like, "Okay," and like lowers it. He's like, "Okay, just come on." But at the end of it, when their unit, like what's left of it, it's only like about 10 dudes. Like after all this, because they get in the worst fighting on the planets, like Titans are landing, and those are like these humongous city-sized mechs that could like one-shot Godzilla with its like third best weapon. Like, they're tremendously overpowered.
Goodbye, Gojira.
Yes. And
The Death Star.
yeah, they're pretty much
Sounds
walking
like-
Death Stars. And
Sounds about right.
yeah, so they're the remaining members of this unit are there, and the commissar's going off about how worthless and terrible they are. But the sergeant who trained them and has been with them the whole time goes, "Ick, bloody proper guardsman," and walks off. And they're like, "Yeah, we are, aren't we?" So he gets to return to the regiment, and this wraps up the Geryon story. So we get to the fourth book, Only in Death. They're on campaign again on a new planet called Jago, and they are ordered to take this ancient fortress. Like, this planet pretty much only exists to fight battles on. Like, it was ancient.
War World.
Yeah, that's what they're called, actually. These exist in
The
Warhammer
contest
40K.
of champions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have to take this.
Where's the Beyonder?
They have to take and fortify this ancient fortress, and there's psychic BS going around. Like, they think it's haunted, and enemy forces are able to infiltrate it and attack like out of nowhere, so they have to find out how that's happening. And they're having like bad nightmares and seeing stuff, and I won't tell you why they're doing that, but I mean, a lot of the characters are just seeing this stuff. And Wes Maggs, who's a
Why
scout,
won't you tell us?
because I want you to read it, and I mean, it's a spoiler.
But when am I going to read this?
I don't know.
I've already got a novel I got to read.
Yeah, I know. It's been sitting there for about 2 months.
Well, so is Final Crisis.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and tell you then. So, they come to find out that the reason this is happening is a psyker. And psychers are these, like, they're pretty much sorcerers in Warhammer 40k. It's all like psychic power. And they can, like, tap into the warp, which is like a demon infested. Not like Doctor Strange. Shut up.
Then they're not as cool.
I mean, they're more powerful because Warhammer 40k, but... So he's been trying to contact the unit because he knows them. Like, he got taken away because they found out he was a psyker, and they're not allowed to be, like, out among people. Like, they're treated like dog crap a lot of the times. So that they find him in this cage, and he's like, I've been reaching out to you guys. I wanted to see you guys again. But when he was doing that, he was making them see all this stuff and causing nightmares, and they would see in their dead friends. They all died that he remembered and was wondering about. So when they find out who this is, like, they ended up just killing him to stop all these nightmares and stuff and pretty much end his suffering because he was suffering. So that's how that happens. And Gaunt goes missing for a bit, and Ron takes command.
Run.
Yeah.
It's always a Ron.
It's Rawne. So they spell it.
He can't even spell Ron.
No,
Exactly.
it's 40k. They have to do it
so he's
fantasy.
the dumb Ron.
They have to have fantasy. Well, it's actually from Celtic names, because Tanith are based off Celts. They're pretty much Scottish Celtic ninja assassins who kill people with sheer manliness, beards, and sniper rifles.
For some reason in my head I just imagine like a guy with like one of those braided beards. And then he said ninja assassin, I imagined him taking the beard, wrapping it around someone's throat.
They could do it. They probably could do it. Corbeck could. Rest in peace, Corbeck. So yeah, I didn't really explain the last book too well, but I mean...
Stuff happened and it was a Warhammer 40k time.
Yep, and it was good.
I like
this
the
book.
Warworld stuff. That was cool.
Yeah, I like the ancient fortress that they were in. Like, it's super, it's big. Like, the doorways and stuff are big. Like, they think it's for people, like, some kind of race that was huge but are not around anymore. And they end up having to scavenge these weapons.
Did they find a skeleton?
No.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Damn skeletons.
They end up having to scavenge weapons because their ammo supplies get blown out of the sky when they're getting resupplied.
Blown right out of the sky.
We gotta drop the load!
Picnic.
So they end up getting this huge, like, big laser weapons that are, like, on tripods, but they're using them like volley guns. Like, they're lining up because the fortress is getting, like, infiltrated by all these enemies, and they're lining up in the halls and going, ready, fire, like redcoats and, like, militiamen in the Revolutionary War. They're just filling these hallways with laser fire. It's pretty cool. So yeah, that's Only in Death, and that is the Lost Omnibus, third omnibus in the Gaunt's Ghost series. Great series, can't recommend it enough. Tanner, what did you read?
Gaunt's Ghost. Sounds like a Scooby-Doo mystery. I dig it. Anyways, so I read up to Heroes in Crisis number 8. Riley, have you read that far yet?
Nope.
Oh,
Never read it
you're
yet.
in for
I think
a
9
treat.
comes out next week.
It does. That's why. I read
Well, don't
8.
talk about it.
Well, I'm sorry.
Talk about something else.
That's all you've read.
Stuff
isn't it?
happens in this that ruin a character.
Yeah, I've heard.
I'll
it's
say that.
polarizing.
Also, Tom King might have gotten kicked off of Batman,
He did.
but I think he's just continuing it with Batman and Catwoman.
He is. Yes.
Look at me, knowing stuff.
He does. He knows.
I know
That's
things.
exactly what happened.
What
I know
character? I
things.
might not
Yeah.
read it for a while, so go ahead and whisper what
So-
character he ruined.
So. Oh gosh. Wow. Okay. Anyway, 85 will be his last issue.
Got you.
Uh,
Who's taking over? Brian
No
Azzarello?
idea. No idea. I hope not. Gosh.
I like him.
Oh no.
He writes good shit.
No, he writes good stuff, but he does not write superheroes well. Like his Joker and Luther, those
Mhm.
are good. I just don't.
I like Batman.
Did you read Superman
Damned.
for Tomorrow?
No.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
Oh.
Sad.
Not good. That reminds me
Sad.
of the trailer for Black Ops 2, where they had FPS Russia in it. He had all these like drones, and he
God.
looks up and there's a missile coming forward. Not good.
The worst thing is that story's drawn by Jim Lee too, so we get wasted Jim Lee.
Really good
Aw.
art. Really bad story.
I know.
Sounds about right. I also read A Song of Ice and Fire. Is that what it's
Game
called?
of Thrones, yeah.
Game of Thrones?
Oh, okay.
It's Game of Thrones, but it's the novels.
Yeah. It's good. It's very good.
Cool.
Haven't finished it, but it's good.
So
I haven't
you're
read that
starting
much this month.
You're
So.
starting the first book.
Did you watch anything?
Game of Thrones.
Do you have anything to say about that ending?
Terrible. They rushed everything.
Yeah.
Did you see the water bottle?
Main villain
Yeah.
changed 3 times.
But
Did you see
the
the
coffee cup?
Starbucks cup?
Starbucks cup,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they didn't rush it at all. They had a year and a half to make it good. Right?
This season existed for spin-offs and stupid decisions by Tyrion
I
Lannister
I
at
don't
the
care.
end.
I've never seen a single episode of that.
I watched John Wick 3, which was very good.
Oh yeah.
I
wanna see
watched Endgame last month. Did I ever see anything else? Watched a lot of Marvel movies again.
that. Yeah.
After seeing Endgame, it made me want to watch a lot. So I watched all the Thor movies.
Yeah.
Watched Guardians 1 and 2.
I need to watch 2.
It's good.
I've only seen it once.
Very good. Very good. But, yeah, I didn't read a lot this month. I wish I had. I wanted to catch more up on my Walking Dead, but didn't get a chance to.
Well, you
The
got
show
next
or the,
month.
It's true.
the comics?
It's true. What?
Show.
Comics.
Comics.
The
I don't
comic.
watch the show.
Good.
Show fell apart.
Yeah.
I stopped watching the show after season 3.
I stopped after
But I trust my boy
season
Kirkman.
5.
We're
He
too many
likes
good
it.
Invincible for me to doubt it.
I'm gonna get into the main topic now.
Yes, main topic.
Okay.
So as you know, we've been reading Spider-Man Life Story.
Yeah. So we didn't get to go over issue 2 last month. So
It's
we're gonna
true.
do that now.
Wyatt wasn't
and
here.
issue 3.
Yeah, sorry guys.
And I think no, issue 3 just came out like last week or the week before, so we're good. So issue 2, this is in the 70s.
It's true. It's all about
So-
disco.
Mm-hmm.
They find out
Peter
that,
fears disco.
well, they don't find out. We find out that Flash died in the war.
Yeah.
That was sad. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
I didn't know who it was. I was like, I had 2 guesses,
Yeah.
and it was Norman, and it was
May.
not May, but Ben, Uncle Ben.
Well, Ben already died.
Yeah.
I know, but still, he could have been at his grave talking to him.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah.
And then it panned. I was like, well, that was surprising. So Flash died in Vietnam. That
And
was sad.
Peter is married to Gwen.
Peter married Gwen.
And that
Or
does not have
did-
a happy ending.
And
Much
Peter,
like that. Much
Yeah.
like disco.
Yeah, much like disco.
And
Man,
Peter
Flash
is
died in
working.
74. He was almost out.
Peter's working for Reed Richards, and he's working
That's true.
with Otto Octavius.
Yeah.
Who is his uncle?
Yeah, Otto married May. Then they say that, but he doesn't show up in the other issues.
Yeah. So that was the story.
Yeah.
That was a real story back in the day.
They go
They
into
dated for a bit.
Yeah.
So at this point, Peter's like what, 30? No.
He's in his 30s, yeah.
What is it? 77?
Yeah. He'd be late 20s, early 30s.
He would be 30, I think, at this point. I think he'd be 30. Norman's still in jail. And here's where things get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Only pretty crazy.
So, not Peter. Gwen is working for Miles Warren,
Yeah.
their former professor.
Yes.
The Lizard.
And, no.
No.
That's not the Lizard?
No. That's Kurt Connors.
Sorry, I said the wrong
The
thing.
lizard.
Well, he said you found
The
a
Lizard.
Well, he said you found a
Monopoly
cure for the
Man.
Lizard in this book.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Hmm.
For Kurt Connors.
For Kurt Connors, not himself.
The
Okay,
Lizard.
got it. The Lizard.
Anyways, he's working for him.
Shut up. I'm sorry.
She's working for him, and Peter's
I flub
working for Reed
sometimes.
Richards.
Right.
But Peter is having some problems with Reed.
Yes. I like Reed.
Yeah.
Reed made a lot of sense to me in this book.
Yeah.
Because he was, like, he said,
He was
like,
Reed.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a lot of sense. He was like, yeah. He's like, when they talked about it, the indestructible clothes that they
indestructible
have.
clothes.
He's like, you could totally give that to everybody, and it would save so many lives and stuff. And he was like, yeah, I could do that, but think of how it would ruin the economy and all the jobs that we have of making clothes.
Yeah.
If we all just made the same shit, I would ruin countless lives. And he was like, fuck you, Reed Richards. And I was like, Reed Richards, got a point.
And then he says, that's why your wife left you to
Yeah,
read, and
damn.
Reed slaps him.
Yeah.
He was like, my spidey sense is tingling, but I'm going to let him slap me.
Do you think he thinned up his hand to slap him?
I don't think so. It didn't
Think he
look
kept
like
he
it.
kept a full hand?
It looked
Yeah,
like a
looked
full
like
hand.
a full
yeah.
hand. Just
I don't
More
think
like a
he used
flat
his
hand.
powers.
Just like a flat hand.
Did Reed at this time know that Peter was Spider-Man?
Yeah, yeah.
I wondered that too.
Yeah,
I assume he did, but I wasn't sure.
yeah. So you know that Miles Warren is the Jackal.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Okay. Well, if you did, then you would have seen the ending coming.
I did not. Made it better for me. Gotta
yeah.
tell you.
So, this is pretty much the Clone Saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but
Oh, I like Harry becoming the
Black
Goblin.
Goblin, yeah, instead of
Yeah,
just the Green
That was
Goblin
a cool
again.
costume.
Yeah,
it's
cool
true.
look. Still throwing those pumpkin grenades.
Yeah.
It's true.
So it turns out that Mr. Warren, or Dr. Warren,
He's been hired by Norman Osborn.
to clone him.
Yeah, but he doesn't stop there.
He calls Peter and Gwen.
and Gwen. Because Norman wanted an heir, Peter, even after Harry saved Oscorp and put in all this work.
Yeah.
Because Norman's a piece of trash.
So he was always supposed to clone Peter and Norman, but then he also cloned Gwen.
Yeah.
Because
And
he loves her.
He loves Gwen. He said, and I could never settle for an imitation. So
Well, hold on. We'll
okay.
get there. Black Goblin blows the thing up, and the clones die.
Mm-hmm.
All except
For Peter, of course.
And the Gwen who's there with him says, you have to go save them because they're still people.
Yeah, and so they're all dead, and Peter's like, what's going on? And Miles says, no, I wanted the real one, not the clone. So
Yeah.
it turns out the one in the tube was actually Gwen, and the clone was with Peter.
Yep.
So they're not really clear,
How long were?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my question. Because
they didn't really say.
Because even after that, I was like, why didn't he stay with the clone? I mean, it's still her, and if he had lived with her for that long, then that's the Gwen he actually
Yeah.
fell in love with.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they end up, and we'll get into this in the next issue.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But the Peter clone runs away, doesn't it? Right? Doesn't he run away?
He ends up marrying.
In next issue,
Clone
he
Gwen.
ends up getting
Oh,
Clone
yeah,
Gwen.
yeah.
He marries clone Gwen.
I was going to wait till
No,
the
that's
next
this one.
Oh, it is in this
Yeah, it
one.
happens this
Yeah,
one.
and
He
Mary
marries
Jane.
clone Gwen. Oh,
Mary
and
Jane
also Mary
consoles
Jane.
him.
Well, we say Mary Jane consoles him, but she was also a total bitch to him at the disco club.
Yeah.
Oh, for real.
'Cause
Yeah, she was a
knew-
total bitch.
Well, she was jealous.
Yeah.
You're here to judge us. Oh, this guy's high. You're drunk, and you invited me out here.
But she wanted Peter.
She did. And Peter at the end, when he was all sad, he was like, Harry left you millions and you don't even have to screw him for it anymore.
Damn. Yeah, but
He's saying she a gold
Peter
digger.
Peter holding Gwen's dead body.
Yeah. Again.
Really sad.
Gwen is so awesome, but they always have to kill her.
But
She's still
Mary-
alive.
Mary
Clone
Jane
version at least.
Mary Jane consoles Peter at the end.
And then in the next issue,
They're married.
they're married.
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 They're married.
They're married.
They're married.
And Peter
That
writes
makes them
Spider-Man
tonight's big
Blue.
loser. Get it, Riley. 'Cause
Right,
they're-
Riley?
What?
I said, and then Peter writes Spider-Man Blue.
Okay.
Starts his recordings. It's
I mean,
true.
possibility.
See, I mean, this story has Craven.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, because the 80s.
Exactly.
The way he.
And this had a cool thing with the Cold War in it.
Well, yes, the 80s.
Yeah. I didn't know that didn't happen in the actual run, like when they did the
Those
battles.
Secret Wars, right?
Oh, all comics did stuff like Russian villains and.
Yeah, but they didn't have Russia just nuke nukes actually fly and hit, did they?
No, I don't know.
Because, I mean, this one they did. And, I mean, we don't even get the full extent of it. They just said that they managed to make them miss Manhattan, but they still
Oh,
hit
you're talking
Pennsylvania.
about when the Secret Wars happened
Yeah.
and they're all gone.
Yes, and
Russia's
Russia's like,
nuke 'em."
let's nuke them now since they don't have any
Yeah.
metahumans.
Oh, I love this splash
Yeah, that
page
art.
in the Secret Wars. That was cool. May is old and senile,
Yeah.
like completely lost her marbles.
She walks off with Peter and
children.
MJ's twins.
Yeah, so Mary Jane's pregnant.
Yeah, at the
and
beginning, and she's like,
Peter
"Where's
goes.
Peter?"
Peter goes off to
Was
battle
their
world.
names significant at all?
Were they Peter's parents' names? One of them was Benjamin.
Also, what did Gwen's... No, Benjamin was the clone of Peter.
Oh, I thought it was the twin too.
But like, Ben is his uncle.
Yeah.
So
What's the kid's name?
Claire and Benjamin.
Oh,
That's
well,
what-
who was the clone's name?
Ben.
Yeah,
Okay,
Ben.
well, there's a lot of Bens in this story.
Yeah.
Ben. Peter.
Ben.
Didn't Gwen
And
Stacy change her
Benjamin-
name too?
Yeah, Helen.
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 Ben and Helen Parker.
Poor girl.
I know.
If you had to choose a name to rename yourself, why would you choose Helen?
I don't know.
Okay, let's talk about Hulk in that scene. He speaks normal.
Oh.
Like, was that Bruce Banner Hulk? Like from Endgame?
Also,
He literally had one word bubble.
Yeah, and it's normal.
You managed to point that out.
but also, what is this machine that creates whatever they want?
That's from Secret Wars.
Yeah.
That's when he got the costume.
Yeah,
That's
the-
literally
the
how it was written.
symbiote.
Really?
Yeah.
So he didn't get it from like a
it
random
didn't
thing
start out as a symbiote. It started out as a costume.
that he just wanted.
Yeah, that he just wore.
But then it became a symbiote.
But then the Spider-Man writers they took off with it and made it into a live alien creature.
So it wasn't originally an alien creature. It was just something he wanted.
It was just a costume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I
Like
need a
you
new
saw how
costume.
Hulk and Thor got their clothes made.
Gotcha.
And they weren't symbiotes.
Right. That's what I was confused at.
Yeah. So that was the original intent.
Okay. Whatever.
Just to give him a cool black costume.
for the 80s.
Yeah. But it turns out to be a symbiote. Peter comes back and a lot of time has passed. She's already given birth to the twins. And he's sad that he missed that.
Mm-hmm. And this new suit starts some drama because, I mean, he's using
bad
it.
time. He's stronger.
Well, to pump you up.
And then he gets that fight with Craven.
Yeah, Craven is going around dressed like him, shooting people. So he's got to find.
As you do.
Yeah, as a villain does.
Have you read
Copycat.
that?
What?
Craven's Last Hunt? That's exactly what this is.
Ah.
Yep.
Shout outs in this that I don't
Yep.
recognize.
Yeah.
Riley's the Spider-Man
Gotta get
aficionado.
on that. I thought you loved Craven.
There's only so much love that you can
Yeah,
have
Tanner says
for-
he
I
loves a
know,
lot of
but like
reasons.
that's his only good story.
He's Craven the Hunt.
Like, he
He's
has
the
one.
best Spider-Man villain. He hunts things.
But
Then
like
just
exactly
spread
like
the
in
ball.
Craven's Last Hunt, he loses, he gets drugged by Craven, and then
Mhm.
gets buried alive.
But then the symbiote saves him.
Yeah, in this it does.
And then he becomes Venom.
Yeah, like he's about to kill Craven, and MJ shows up because he knew it was a symbiote. Like Reed is
I don't
like,
think he even had the symbiote in the original story.
Probably
It
not.
was just a regular costume.
yeah, but Reed actually said, Peter, I was doing some scans. This thing's alive, and Peter's like, I'm a scientist because he has Parker Industries now. Like he's got a full thing in this story.
Mhm.
He's like, the first thing I did was test this thing, so I know it's alive, and I have countermeasures. MJ knows exactly what to do. So when he becomes Venom and is about to eat Craven or whatever he does to kill people, probably
Yeah.
eat,
So he bulks up super big when he
Yeah.
breaks out of the grave. It's
and
cool.
he gets the mouth teeth.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
goes.
yeah, he
and-
does show teeth, just like Venom, right there.
Yeah.
And he immediately goes and beats the crap out of a bunch of thugs.
Out of Craven.
Well, thugs too, and then Craven.
And then Mary Jane's like, no, Peter.
And she has the sound wave gun or whatever it
And
is.
blasts him.
Blast him.
Blast him!
Now he's in his undies.
And he
says,
and
I saw
He
it.
looks like angry dad.
Okay, now what?
Superman.
At this moving thing,
They're-
are they getting divorced? Is that what happened?
I don't
Or
think
did he
they
lose the
divorced.
house?
I think she just left.
Okay, she just left.
Because she
I
doesn't
didn't.
trust
There was
May.
3 options.
Yeah, she doesn't trust May.
Like, he won't put her in a home.
Right.
And she's like, it's either me and the kids or May. So, she left. Because she
One
walked
more
off
day.
with the kids.
Just one more day.
I can't blame her though.
That
Yeah.
old decrepit woman.
I
Be the
can't-
end of Peter.
Can
I
you
really
blame her?
can't,
Like
no.
she took those kids like down the street, and who knows what could have happened.
It's true.
She's completely out of her mind. Yeah, and then it ends with Craven about to shoot himself, but then the symbiote comes back to Craven.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
Craven's gonna become Venom.
So
I
apparently
guess.
he doesn't die here. He just gets the symbiote. Maybe he'll be Venom.
I hope so.
Probably.
That would be a cool take.
He is Craven.
So yeah, then the next issue is going to be the 90s.
The 90s.
June 12th.
It starts out with the Aerosmith song.
Yes.
Spider-Man. Spider.
So what do you think of the unique
He's
take?
divorced inside. He's Spider-Man.
Oh, we do get divorced, Spidey.
Look, it's a clone. It's Gwen Stacy. His OG wife. Her name's Helen now. Who's that guy? It's Peter Guy. Good gosh. He's changed his name to Ben. His son's also named Ben. His uncle's named Ben. What's this family's obsession with Ben? I hope the viewers like that. I like that rendition of 90s Spider-Man. But now is the moment we've all been waiting for. Will Wyatt finally prove himself in battle against
Tanner.
me?
Ooh. Switching it up.
So I wrote some questions out for you guys. If I can find them.
Guaranteed we both know none of these.
Possibly.
No, you'll know most of them.
They better be general.
All right, and I'm going to be keeping a tally so we know who the real winner is.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. First question. What is the Punisher's real name?
Frank Castle.
Also known as Frank Castle.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Thanks,
Tanner?
Ghost Recon.
That's Tanner.
Damn it.
What is the name of the Fantastic Four's headquarters?
Baxter Building.
You got that one too. Did you know it?
Yeah.
You gotta be quick, man.
Well, we just need to raise our hands or something you call on. It's
Okay,
like not just
okay.
Alright, not just shout it out.
All right, raise your hand.
I'll raise
Ready?
a finger.
No.
What country does Wolverine claim to be from? Nobody's anxious to answer this one. It's not hard, I promise.
I'll take a guess.
Okay?
Germany?
No.
Australia?
No.
Fuck.
Austria.
No right answers here.
Austria.
Canada.
Ah, darn.
Like
Damn,
like
I knew
Deadpool.
that. I
Like
knew
Deadpool.
that.
All right. What is Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern's weakness? Okay.
Homosexuality.
No. Why would you say that?
Sorry.
What? What? I know I probably said this one time.
I don't remember.
He's in some of the stories we went through. The guy on the JSA.
Yeah, we know, but I mean.
Oh, okay.
It's not wood.
It is wood. Point for Tanner.
Told
Did
you
you
it was
know?
homosexuality.
Did you know what the Green Lantern Corps' weakness used to be?
Yellow.
Yellow. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not anymore after Jeff Johns' run.
That's why my brother always used to say you just throw a pencil at him.
Yeah. All right. What super team is sometimes referred to by scientists as Homo Superior?
X-Men?
The X-Men. Thought you'd like that one.
You didn't raise your
Wyatt
hand.
has no points.
I don't know comic shit, Riley.
Okay, I'll give you the first two questions because you both got those,
Okay.
but you didn't get these last two. So it's 4-2.
Okay.
Tanner. On what comic? In what comic will you find the Minutemen?
It's not
This is a kind of obscure question.
Justice Society, is it?
No, it is not.
Is it?
You gotta think.
That's the tough
I'll
part.
give you a
Is
hint.
it the Freedom Fighters?
No. This is not like a mainstream comic.
Is it Invincible?
No.
That's all I got.
I'll give you another chance.
Any other hints?
Well, I'm just gonna count it wrong after this.
Oh, you can't, but do you have any other hints, like a character or something? That wouldn't ruin it?
No.
Okay, never mind.
No, not really.
What was my first guess? Was it Watchmen?
The JSA. It is Watchmen.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I got it.
But I already gave you a chance. I gave you 2 chances.
Dang it.
Nobody gets that one.
Okay.
What does DC stand for? Raise your hand. Go. Go, Tanner.
Detective Comics.
That's right.
What were you going to say?
Detective Comics.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
You were going to
I
say
rose my
District of
hand.
Columbia.
What was the creative team on Crisis on Infinite Earths? Like, you reviewed the book with
I
me.
don't remember.
Come on. That's a easy question. Go.
Grant Morrison?
No. Not even close.
The Crisis Team?
What were their names? That's what I'm asking.
Their actual names? The names of all the writers on that team? Like what?
Yes.
I don't know!
The 2 people who worked on the book.
I don't know.
Okay.
Alan Moore.
No. You read the book.
I did.
Yeah,
And I
okay.
remember I didn't like the book very well.
You didn't
Very
think it
well.
was that bad.
I rated it as an average. Not good enough to make me remember the writers.
No, you will remember. It was Marv Wolfman and George Perez.
Yeah, I didn't
I
remember.
don't know who they are.
That's okay. Who is the main hero from Astro City? I have a statue
Ooh.
of him upstairs.
I know this. It's
The Samaritan.
Yes, it is Samaritan. It is currently 6-2 Tanner. You're getting blown out.
I don't know
Think I
fucking
won.
comics.
I think I won.
I didn't pick very hard questions here. Like, there's a couple that you wouldn't know, but one of them was for Wyatt. And he, like, bit my head off about it.
Keep going.
I didn't like it.
Keep going.
Final question. Where did Batman get his powers? From what planet? It was where he had powers like Superman.
I don't know the planet's name.
Wasn't it like Krypton backwards?
No.
Damn.
Valmir.
No.
That sounds like a thing, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I know. I just made a sound. Megalobabada.
Purple Planet.
Supapakapalapaka.
I have no idea.
Xylophone.
What was it?
Zurinar.
Zurinar.
Ah.
Oh, that was it, yeah. So good old Zurinar.
You got it.
From the
Yeah.
casebook.
From the casebook, yeah, Zurinar.
Fucking casebook. Okay. Who does
All
Tanner
right.
hate?
Well, I had a tiebreaker planned, but we
What's the
don't need
tiebreaker?
it.
Yeah, give it to us anyway. Extra credit.
Wyatt, if you can get this, I'll claim you the winner.
No!
I know you're not
No,
gonna get
that doesn't work.
it. What issue did Carnage first appear in? It's signed by Mark Bagley in my room.
27.
No.
Damn. 63.
You're nowhere close.
55.
287.
No.
163.
No.
Hot or cold?
Wyatt's pretty close. I mean, not that close.
What'd you say?
250.
No, you're just guessing now.
Yeah.
You know
263.
Venom appeared in 300, right?
No.
We reviewed that.
Okay, is it
360.
320?
No, it was 361.
I knew it was 60 something. I was close. I was one away. I said 360.
Yes. After you said 55 and 60.
Well, I knew it was 60 something. I just couldn't remember how high we had to go.
Okay.
I need
Tanner
to be
wins.
announced.
Tanner wins in a blowout.
That's right!
I'm making a bunch of Warhammer questions next time.
That's right. You can do it next week
These are
for me and
fair.
Riley.
These are fair questions.
Do it for next week for me and Riley.
Yeah, okay.
So, the streak of Wyatt continues. It's a fantastic streak. A lot of wins. A lot of wins. A lot of tears were shed.
A lot of wins for the other people.
It's
Bite
true.
my ass.
It's true. But next week,
Wyatt's
Riley's
Wyatt's
gonna
not used
step up
losing.
to the plate and face the man, the myth,
Oh, me and you were going?
the legend. With questions from
Sounds good.
Wyatt Smith.
Yeah.
It's true. It's damn true. Okay. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Chimmy Comics. Hope you enjoyed Wyatt talking about Warhammer. Hope you enjoyed Riley talking about Spider-Man and how terrible it is.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed me and my beautiful face. Have a great show. Thanks. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. Give me some comment below and let me know something to read.
Give up.
Whiskey Comic Box. You watch these. Give me suggestions.
Tanner
I
needs
need
stuff
them.
to read.
I'm running out of things. It's true. Have a good one, guys.
All right. See you guys.